I mean, something I thought was really interesting, my brother pointed out when we were in New York, because Khaswara was with us protesting. When we were in New York, I called Troy, I was talking to him during the demonstration. I told him, here I am demonstrating, you know, against the Republican convention. And he said, that's amazing. Mom and Kathleen, the two of you, were demonstrating against the Republican convention of 1964. So this is 2004, so that's 40 years. And you were in San Francisco, and we were in New York. So it was, I thought it was an amazing... Well, what's interesting is the two of you are in the yearbook for the 1965 encyclopedia. There's a picture of my mother and my sister protesting with all black people. I mean, they were the only two white people in the picture. But you were looking a little black in the picture, in fact. My mother used to get mistaken for... because she was very involved in the civil rights movement. Yeah, and she used to wear a scarf a lot and had her sunglasses. So people actually thought that you were half black or something like that. Isn't that true?
I don't remember that, but possibly.
Mom can as well.
She can as well, yeah. But I thought that was really interesting, that the two of them were there, and then 40 years later we're in New York, because I was in San Francisco against Barry Goldwater, who was considered in those days an extremist, but he makes these people, I mean, these people make Barry Goldwater look pretty moderate.
Like a Democrat.
Actually, we were protesting the civil rights platform of the Republican.
Yeah, so it was one issue, because your poster actually said civil rights is the issue. That was the poster that you were holding up. Yeah, I mean, that was such an interesting time, wasn't it?
It was.
In this country.
It was.
Because it was formative, like you were at the University of Oregon and then got involved with Martin Luther King, and you went down to Mississippi. To Selma. And worked in those coordinating committees and things. So it seems like a lot of things are coming back, that we need that type of activism again in this country.
It's true.
Yeah, because I think part of what we've been talking to a lot of people in the Arab world, and this is primarily who's going to be listening to this, in the Arab world, a lot of Arab people just feel that, you know, the policies towards the Arab world are just so biased and unfair. And unfortunately with Iraq going on now, and just a lot of the, and so there's a feeling that a lot of Americans just, they don't really care. I mean, that's their feeling. So it is a general understanding. So I think part of what we're trying to do with this program is let them know not only are a lot of people deeply distressed about what's going on, they're not just sitting at home being distressed, they're out marching, they're writing things, they're doing things.
Well, unfortunately, our media doesn't show that.
Right.
There has been kind of a blackout about the protest against the war.
Yeah. Well, you know, my mother during the Iraqi war, she would go to the demonstration.
And so did Kathleen.
And you did as well. Yeah.
So we were aware of how many people were there.
It was large numbers.
What the newspaper reported was never anything close.
It's true. And it was a cross-section. A
lot of people, conservative people, liberal people, Democrats, Republicans. A lot of people were...
Many people you would not expect
to be out there. Right.
Which is very different from the 60s.
Right.
You didn't see as many conservative people out in the 60s as you do now, so that's a hopeful thing, I think.
Well, I think something's interesting, Pete. I mean, I've noticed that even though there's still a lot of anger out there, I mean, for instance, we went to the Unconventional Heroes program, and one of the people speaking got up and started talking about the dumb, fat, idiot Rush Limbaugh, and I was just thinking about just using that type of language, you know, dumb, fat. I mean, he's not dumb. You might disagree with him, but, you know, he's not a stupid person. He might have some ideas that are pretty abhorrent to me or you. And fat is kind of a strange, I mean, for people that are trying to be progressive, to be attacking somebody because of how they look is pretty, and people don't, that's where ethics kind of breaks down. We like ethics when it works for us, when it's on our side. But when we look at the other side, somehow the same principles are often just they're just dropped. And so my feeling is that there are a lot of people out there that are becoming more aware of that. I mean, that was one of the things you and I both felt about 9/11 Fahrenheit. You know, even though it was interesting and things like that, I mean, we're all in this thing together.
Well, that wonderful, I can quote it, quatrain from Rumi, beyond the right and wrong doing, there is the field, I'll meet you there.
Right, yeah.
Right, it's definitely time for that. Well, we need to have peace marches rather than anti-war marches.
Yeah, pro-peace.
We need to, my own personal belief is that inner peace is the way we're going to have peace.
What's the difference? A peace march versus an anti-war? I mean,
well, an anti-war, from my perspective, is we're against you.
okay.
Whoever the you is, there's someone to be against, someone who's the bad guy.
Okay.
And that's the very attitude that the people that we're looking at have toward whoever. I mean, we're upset with them and we're being the same way they are,
Okay.
matching them. But if we're having a peace march, then ideally we would really be being peace at that moment and
Okay.
putting that out into the world, that we want peace for everyone, including the people that may be doing something that we wish they weren't doing.